We've got more on-location photos of House of the Dragon Season 2. We're going to get into what we think those photos show right now on the Sundowners Club. Welcome. I'm your host, Sean. My co-host, Sterling. So, Sterling, House of the Dragon Season 2, we're here for it. Looking forward to it coming out next year. And we're constantly getting updated photos on location filming, even with the writer's strike. You know, this is one of the few series that has continued to film because in their response, they had the scripts, the revisions done several times, and they had it ready to go. So we're hoping that there will be no work stoppage and that they'll finish with the production of the season. But, you know, let's talk about some photos that came out this week from Dan Selke of the Winter's Coming website. So you guys check out that website. It's a really good site, and they've covered some of the aspects of the filming of House of the Dragon Season 2. And recently they've moved the production to Wales. And so there's been a few actors that have been spotted filming in Wales. And we're going to talk about what is known as the Dragonseeds. What does it mean? What do we think these photos show? And while we do that, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about our House of the Dragon content, and support us. Hit that subscribe button so that we can continue to grow our content. So let's talk about what we see in the first photo. So you haven't read the book Fire and Blood. So Fire and Blood is a much different read than A Song of Ice and Fire. And, you know, it's more of an encyclopedia history from the perspective of the Maesters, and so I think it's a quicker read of the Targaryen history. One of the things that comes up with that is there's been this thought that only a Targaryen can ride a dragon. You got to have the dragon blood. So let's talk about what we've seen in this first photo, and we'll put it up on the screen. And we see what I believe is Ulf of White. He looks Targaryen. Mm-hmm. So a Targaryen bastard. So in the books, they're seeking out Targaryen bastards to ride dragons. They've got dragon eggs. They've got dragons that are out there, and they need dragon riders to win this war, the blacks versus the greens. And so they seek out Targaryen bastards. And but one of the things that you see when you look at this picture is you see what I believe is a husky guy standing in the second position. I believe that is Hugh Hammer. And I believe Ulf the White is in the back. And then the third person is a black woman, which I think it's Nettles. We don't know for sure, but I believe it's Nettles. And Nettles is going to be a very interesting character in a variety of ways, one of which is how the show decides to present Nettles and her background. Because in the book, it's a little murky. You know, again, the book is from the perspective of the Maesters of the history. So there was, and I don't want to give too much away, but there was a thought that this was Daemon Targaryen's lover, and there was also a thought that it could have been Daemon's daughter, illegitimate daughter. And so, you know, it'll be interesting to see, does the show have these individuals, and Nettles will ride a dragon called Sheep Stealer. And so I do believe we'll see Nettles feeding Sheep Stealer and bonding with it. But will the show go down the road of these characters are all bastards of Targaryens, thus giving them the bloodline to be able to ride the dragons? Or will the show deviate from that and make it to where you've got characters that maybe weren't descendant from Targaryens, therefore busting the myth that you don't have to be a Targaryen blood to Valyrian blood, old Valyria, and Targaryen blood to ride the dragons, right? So your thoughts on that? I mean, you know.
Well, what is the book? How did the books frame it? They act like you do have to have Targaryen blood, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how they should keep it.
Yeah, so, you know, and again, I don't want to claim it. You know, I haven't read the books probably 7 or 8 times each, but you know, that's my understanding, and I know someone could jump in and correct us. There's a lot of nuance, and you got to keep in mind, even in George R. R. Martin's books, you've got point of view characters, right? So when you read things, it's not always fact; it's the point of view of the character. And again, even in Fire and Blood, it is from the Maester's histories, right? So, what we're seeing in House of the Dragon is, according to Ryan Condal and George R. R. Martin, it's what happened. It's what really happened. And so, and we're going to see a few things in season 2 that delve into that. So, in the Dragonseeds, I think what we're seeing here in this shot is, I think we're seeing Nettles and we're seeing Ulf the White, and they're basically going to be riding these dragons to help Rhaenyra Targaryen win the war. And you got Hugh Hammer, who will be riding the dragon Vermithor. If you remember Vermithor, that's the one Damon sang to
yeah.
in the cave. And so let's talk about another character that is, again, we get into this descendant part of it. Addam of Hull. So you see this shot.
Is that him?
Yeah, that is it. So we believe it's Addam of Hull, that is going to be played by Clinton Liberty. And what's interesting about Addam is he doesn't have the white dreadlocks.
Yeah.
He's got the black dreadlocks.
I always thought that looked kind of dumb.
The white dreadlocks?
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you right now, from reading the book, I'm going to make a prediction. This is going to be one of the 2 or 3 fan favorites from the 4 seasons of House of the Dragon.
I think so.
If they do it right, it's a good character. And, you think about what makes fans like a character, right? Think about Jaime Lannister. You got to go through a little bit of betrayal and, the gauntlet, right? You think about what certain characters that fans have endeared themselves to. This guy's going to go through it. He's going to go through loyalty and betrayal. And so what we're seeing here are the shots of Addam on the beach. And I think that, I think that we're going to see, an explanation of Addam Valerian. Basically, we're going to see who the father was. So it was thought in the books, it's claimed that Laenor Valerian, who supposedly died, but he left in House of Dragon season 1 on the boat, right? Mm. They faked his death so that Rhaenyra could be with Daemon and he could live his life, right? But it was always rumored that Corlys Valerian was Addam's father. So then you would say, well, if that's the case, if Corlys is the father and not Laenor, then he doesn't have Targaryen blood, which, because Corlys married Rhaenys Targaryen and had Laenor. So Laenor has Targaryen blood. That would stay consistent with your thought that, he has Targaryen blood to ride the dragon, right? So he would be a Targaryen bastard. But that would mean he would have to be Laenor's son, not Corlys's, because Corlys does not have Targaryen blood. So it's going to be interesting to see how much they delve into the background of these characters and how they were able to ride the dragons. But, pretty confident at this point that Clinton Liberty is going to be playing Addam Valerian, and we'll see, we'll see what happens. And then, let's talk about Kieran Boo. Kieran was in the series or movie Warrior, and Redaining Intelligence website. Go check that site out. Have basically reported that it's seems pretty likely that he's playing Hugh Hammer, and that would, he looks like the character that we saw on Winter's Coming for the shots of the beach, when you saw him standing there with Nettles in front of Nettles. So I tend to think that that's him right here. Yeah, and we'll show that picture, a closer up picture of him. And so as they were shooting in Wales, so between Kieran and Clinton, and then Leon Ockenden playing Ulf the White, and then you've got Nettles. It's I think these are some of your dragon riders, the Dragonseeds, and so this sets the stage.
Are these all major characters? Or?
these are characters that play prominent roles in what happens. And then we have Parker LePain, who we don't know the role she's playing yet, but she's been cast in season 2. And so, and then we have a shot as we wrap up.
That picture's funny. That's obviously like the.
So, this is a shot most likely of Rhaenyra Targaryen.
And that's what they use for the
and
dragon.
the dragon's head. So, that's her dragon. And she's most likely looking out over Shipwrecker Bay, I believe. Maybe Dragonstone, but I think she's at Shipwrecker Bay, and she obviously, knows that her son's dead. And, in the book, it talks about what washes up on shore and the after effects of that. And so, we've now moved from Spain to Wales. And so my belief in some of the things we're seeing filmed is that we're going to start to see, the series in season 2 is going to, I think, cover the beginning, the death of Luke, and that ended season 1, and then you've got the after effects of that, and then you've got Blood and Cheese, and then you've got Daemon possibly getting injured, but you'll see Daemon with Harrenhal and Alice Rivers showing up, and then you're going to have the Battle of Rook's Rest, and I believe once you bring in the Dragonseeds, you're going to have the season end with us returning to King's Landing. And so I think that's where season 2 is possibly going to end. We've got 8 episodes. So this gives you a lot of color and flavor to these fascinating characters that are going to show up. Let us know what you think. Are you interested most to see Nettles? Or are you interested to see Ulf the White, Hugh Hammer, Clinton Liberty, playing Addam? Or what do you want to see about the backstories of these characters? What do you want to see happen in season 2 if you've read Fire and Blood? And if you haven't, just if you've seen the series, let us know what you think. Leave a comment below. And most importantly, when you're leaving a comment, hit that like button and hit subscribe so that we can continue to grow our channel. And as we get out of here, House of the Dragon Season 2, is there anything next year you're looking forward on streaming more than House of the Dragon?
No, but that's not saying much. There's not a whole lot of
The Bear Season 3 on Hulu.
I don't even know what that is, but there's not really a whole lot. Actually, The Boys.
The Boys
The Boys.
Does it come out end of this year or early next year?
I think it's supposed to come out this year. That's the one thing that I might be more interested in. But other than that, there's not really much that I find that interesting.
Mandalorian Season 4, The Acolyte.
Yeah, Acolyte's canceled, I think.
No, it's not.
It's
No.
not. That's all rumors.
It's in the can. It's rumors.
Yeah.
They have nothing to put out next year with the writer's strike. Everything's delayed 6 months or more, and it's done. So why wouldn't they put it out? They're going to put it out.
Yeah.
Now, whether it gets any type of viewership, that's a whole different matter. But they're going to put the show out. And then you got Andor. Now they've delayed filming Andor Season 2, but
I'd say anything with Star Wars is on the back of my list, if barely on my list. I watch Star Wars because of you, buddy.
So House of the Dragon Season 2 is numero uno.
That or The Boys. I don't know.
We're going to be here to cover it. We hope you like the content, and hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow and TCB.